Anyway, I want to apologise, man, if I upset you for your what happened in the history. No, seriously, I want to apologise. Right?
I want to just one point on Genesis.
Yeah, and yourself, sir.
Don't worry.
No, because I know. You touched on emotion. We know the history. I know it must be
painful.
emotional.
It's painful.
I get it. Are you saying killing men, women and children? What is genocide to you?
Systematic, trying to kill a whole population.
Right.
Systematically.
Okay. See, I find it hard to believe there was more Palestinians.
Okay, let's see. It's got here demographic history of Palestine. Yeah.
So there was less when they first started. All the refugees that went to Jordan and all around, and you're saying there's 5 million more now.
Sorry, say that again.
So you're saying there was 2 million in 1948. Then the
Let's
displacement and all the ones went to Jordan. Yeah.
And not all over the world.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
What?
Unfortunately.
What do you mean?
It's not a good thing.
Well, that was the plan.
Carry on.
Right. So what you're saying is, so we start with 2 million.
Let's say.
And
now we've said it's 7 million.
And now we're saying 7 million.
So how do you claim to genocide? That's my question.
Yeah. So I'm trying to show me the 2 million. And show me 7 million. All right. Because this is your claim. There was 2 million Palestinians in Palestine before Israel invaded. Yeah. And then during that invasion, you got some would have gone to Egypt, some would have gone to.
Okay, look. First of all, this established it's known that the Arab population of Palestine doubled during the British Mandate era. So there's over 1.2 million in 1948.
One second.
Just read that line because that's the starter point.
Okay. Whether there was significant Arab immigration into Palestine during the 19th and 20th centuries, especially after the beginning of the Zionist settlement there in the late 19th century, has become a matter of some controversy. It is known that the Arab population of Palestine doubled during the British Mandate era of 670,000.
Like every other country.
Yeah.
England doubled as well.
And then what does it say? 1.2 million.
One second.
Carry on reading.
To over 1.2 million in 1948.
You see? And now, if you want to carry on.
What was the population of England?
And there has been a considerable debate.
You don't know?
Yeah.
That's just natural thing.
I didn't say it wasn't.
There has been
we're
a
talking
considerable
about
debate
something
over the subject.
No, he's saying it's a genocide.
Yeah,
I'm saying killing men, women, and
Anyway.
children. One second.
Okay.
I'm saying killing men, women, and children.
Yeah.
Is genocide. Yes, I'm saying that. If you don't believe it or not, I don't care.
Genocide.
If you're saying they have to kill every single person, then we have a different understanding of the word genocide.
Let's look up the word genocide definition if you want.
Oh, 1 second.
Can you define genocide?
Well,
Yeah.
he is.
Can you define it?
I think killing men, women, and children indiscriminately because of who they are. Yes. I don't know. Is it? What do you think it means? Yeah, me neither. Yeah. Yeah. Genocide, the deliberate killing of a large number of people from a particular nation or ethnic group with the aim of destroying that nation or group.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what the people I've seen the people of Israel calling for. Yeah, the final solution.
I would say it wasn't in majority, I would say.
And Turkey with Armenia as well. That was
Yeah, that probably was. As was the Crusaders in Jerusalem.
terrible things done in France. You're interested in the population of Israel today, how it's broken down.
Yeah. We're just trying to.
Yeah, he'd like to see that as well, wouldn't you?
What's that?
The population of Palestinians.
Jewish 75.6%, Muslim 18.6% currently. Today's 2021.
You're saying that like it's a fantastic thing.
I'm not saying one thing.
No, it's like 18% is like wow. We're so blessed.
I'm just giving you the facts.
I understand.
I'm not in this argument at all.
I know.
I have this every year. I've got 20 copies.
All right, just one second.
About 20 years. Very useful book to have.
What is the book?
The Economist Pocket Roll in Figures.
Okay, wow.
It's got the GDP of every country.
In which years?
Note in the world.
In which years? Population.
20, well, the population of Israel in total, I will tell you, is 8.4 million.
8.4 million. Okay. So 10% of that is what? 830,000, and then an extra 3%.
Life expectancy.
About 900,000 Muslims there, yeah.
84.
So 900,000 Muslims in 8 million people in Israel. All right, fair enough.
Number of households, 2.5 million. Marriages per 1,000, 6.2. Divorces per 1,000, 1.7.
Yeah. It's going backwards here, man. It's supposed to go forwards. Here we go. British mandate. 1922 to 45. Arab migration to Palestine of 40,000 to 42,000.
That as well. We're not talking about that.
No, I am.
You are?
Yeah.
Okay.
50,000 Arabs emigrated to enter Palestine from neighbouring land. I'm trying to get past 1940 flipping thingy.
Past 1948.
Yeah. 1 second.
I think if you go a lot on, because it's divided into the periods.
Yeah. In 1974, steady demographic, 900 Muslims per year would dictate.
You're losing followers now. You're losing spectators.
I don't care.
Population age 0 to
My spectators, see that
19.
camera there? They're my spectators.
Right, so it's all filmed.
Yes.
Okay, so not really.
What?
I don't know. I just made a side. I don't mind debating with you, but I didn't really want to be on camera.
Well, welcome to the world. Say hello, Mum.
It's a bit late for that.
Okay, in 1974, a study demographer Robert Batchy estimated that about. So all we're arguing here is whether or not killing men, women, and children indiscriminately. You're just saying what amount of people do you have to kill for it to be described as
And if that's the case, would you call Syria a genocide? Even though it's not as well, even though it's terrible.
Syria's a genocide. Yeah. What you mean with Assad dropping bombs on? Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Why is he dropping bombs on them particular people?
To kill the rebels, isn't it?
Who are the rebels? What's the difference between the rebels?
People want to throw.
What's the difference between them?
I don't know.
There you go. That's the problem.
Britain bombing Dresden just before the last war ended.
Genocide?
Was that genocide?
Was it Hiroshima and Nagasaki? Hiroshima and Nagasaki genocide?
I've never heard it described as genocide.
Yeah, but you got to remember one thing. You see, whenever Britain do something, we have a different word for it. So, for example, if you go to emigrate to Spain, yeah, no. If you go to if you go to live in Spain, you're an expat. Yeah, if you go to live in Australia, you're an expat. If you're foreign, you're an immigrant. So for some reason, when the British go everywhere, we're not immigrants anymore. We're always an expat. Yet when it's someone comes here, a Spanish person comes here, they're an immigrant. It's madness. This is what we do.
Depends what context you're putting it in.
Right. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to get to the part where I'm getting. Okay, so Palestine estimate 6.1 million Palestinians for that area, while Israel's Central Bureau of Statistics estimate 6.2 million. Gaza estimated by the Israeli Defense Force have 1.7 million, the West Bank 2.8, and Israel proper has 1.7. Okay.
So I was more or less accurate with what we're.
Yeah, well, birth rates and such.
Yeah.
You know, like my man said, how many people in England in 1948 and today? How many billions and stuff?
Less than 40.
So,
Can I have my phone back now?
yeah, of course you can. So it's just very simple. The only dispute we have is what is the number of men, women, and children you have to kill for it to be classed as genocide? What name would you use for killing men, women, and children if it doesn't reach that kind of figure for genocide?
No, a genocide for me, the way because
No, what would you call that though?
I don't know,
Murder?
murder,
Just murder.
killing, whatever you.
Murder.
Murder. Yeah.
Murder. There's been a murder. So basically, so what you're saying is Israel is murdering people of Gaza, yeah? I have no issue with that.
But you would call that genocide, wouldn't you?
Me personally, if you're killing men, women, and children because of who they are, I believe yes.
So.
Whether I don't know what the end game is. I don't know what they've got planned for the future. All I know, in Israel's history, whenever Israel wants to expand its borders, it will create a self-defense idea that it's defending itself. Israel has only ever expanded its borders under the guise of self-defense. So I don't know what they've got planned in the future so they can utilize that flex. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe we'll have this conversation in 5 years and you'll surround me and say, you know what, you were right. They
About
were
what?
after them. Who knows?
Okay, but you would call it a genocide.
I would say killing men, women, and children indiscriminately because of who they are. Yes.
So
Contradiction.
Or you
the
carpet
Oxford
bombing
English
Gaza, how is
Dictionary.
that not genocide?
What do you mean? Sorry.
Well, that doesn't say so in the Oxford English Dictionary. Then
What does it say?
doesn't describe-
What does it say?
I don't know
that's what I'm
It,
saying.
it says killing a
doesn't
lot.
mean what you
It does.
just read
It says
out.
exactly what I said.
You just read out in detail.
What did I say?
Genocide
What
means.
did I say?
I can't remember.
I
but
can.
You've got it. On
I can
there.
remember.
You've got it. Do it again.
I don't have to. I remembered. Shall I tell you what it says? It says killing a large number of people because of their ethnicity or who they are,
And to wipe out
with the ultimate
what's a
aim.
large number for you?
What? I don't know.
What?
What is a large number?
Exactly.
There's only
So I
a
asked,
small
you're
number
defining
in
it
the
now.
bloody country
Well,
as
you
a whole.
define a large number then, because
No.
you said. Well, one second. I quoted the dictionary. Large number for me. If you kill more than 20 people for no reason, just because of who they are, that's a large
In
number.
one day, in what time
That's
span?
not
In what
the
time span?
definition of genocide.
What's the
It's
definition?
not, but he's
I'm
defining
not
it for
on
himself.
your-
That's why I'm
not
asking.
on
Oh,
your
sorry.
side or his side.
Oh, okay.
Maybe we're not on
No
side.
disrespect.
Maybe we even
No
agree.
disrespect,
I
my
just-
friend. You ain't the judge. All right. Can you tell me what large is?
Well, 6 million Jews in the last war.
Okay. Is that it?
No, I don't know how many Armenians.
So when you say the word large,
Like 1.5 Armenians, 1.5.
so when you say the word large, so large has to be millions. Is that what you're saying?
Well, it depends on the population of the country.
What about 2,500?
There's only a few
What about
million.
2,500
There's
people?
only 8 million of
What about 2,500 people? Is that a large number?
That's not genocide. I don't think.
No, is that a large number though?
Oh, I mean, for goodness
Every
sake.
death is a
There's
tragedy.
a large number of people here today.
Yeah. So it's 2,500 people a large number.
You're waffling around on differences. Don't misunderstand me. I am pro-Jewish and pro-Palestinian. I've been speaking here for 45 years, and I've been defending the Palestinians for 45 years.
But-
the injustice that's been done to them. That.
You should be saying.
So don't give me any waffle about
But you've just said pro-Jewish and pro-Palestinian. Why
How
not
does that work
pro-Jewish and
out?
pro-Muslim?
Where do you go, mate?
Why did you use religion for one and ethnicity
No,
for the
because
other?
Jewish is also an ethnicity. Maybe.
No, it's not.
Maybe it is.
No, it's not.
No, I mean, some people believe it is, some people believe it isn't. You believe it isn't, but I'm saying maybe you believe.
Okay. So the Palestinians are all Muslims, so why not say
No,
Palestinian?
they're not.
Are they not?
No, it's Christians. It's atheists as well. You don't know what each person believes. Because Muslims by belief, Jewish is not only by belief, it's by ethnicity as well. What? You get me? Should I say that again?
No, so you're saying a Jewish person,
Yeah.
we know has to be born a Jew, but we don't know who's born a Jew, do you? Come from Poland claiming to be you're Jewish, who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows you're Jew?
Yeah, but they sort of, even if they're not the original Israelites, that's what you want to say. Like, you don't know, maybe. But even if they're not, they're still the Jewish race because they sort of only married with each other and created a sort of distinct genetic,
Well, you're telling me...
They only married with each other, so they're sort of a race.
Listen to me, you're telling me those Israeli citizens coming from Boston and all these places,
Yeah.
they're only marrying each other? Really?
Yeah, they are. What do you mean? Jews only marry each other, like, generally speaking.
Well, even all non-religious Jews?
Today, you're right. Today,
History of the word genocide.
Oh, thank you.
yeah, we've had that.
Yeah. The term genocide was coined in 1943 by the Jewish-Polish lawyer Raphael Lemkin. So he invented the word. Really? Who combined the Greek word, using the Greek word genos, race or tribe, with the Latin word side, to kill. After witnessing the horrors of the Holocaust, in which members of his family except his brother was killed, Dr. Lemkin campaigned to have genocide recognised as a crime under international law. His efforts gave way to the adoption of the United Nations Genocide Convention in December 1948, which came into effect in 1951.
Which doesn't mention genocide.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
You're affecting the camera.
Go, clear the deck. Go.
Okay, anyway, we're done for this.
Who's training
So thank you. I'm done with the conversation. Boring conversation. Anyway, I want to apologise, man, if I upset you for your not having an issue. No, seriously, I want to apologise, all right?
I want to just one point on genocide.
Well, all right.
Yeah, and yourself, sir.
Don't worry.
No, because I know. You touched on emotion. We know the history. I know it must be emotional.
It's painful.
I get it. And you hear someone just flippantly talking about I get it. So please don't take that. But go on.
Me personally, we too, for example, on different pages when it comes to the state of Israel. Me personally,
Yeah.
oppose the state.
But one little point is that I want to
I can
clarify.
tell who was supporting the state. But go on, carry on.
One little point I do want to clarify is
Go on.
when he mentioned between Jewish and Palestinian, he said religion and not religion. Now, it's a good question, and many people are very confused. What does the word Jewish really mean? And let's give a little background history to it to understand what the Jewish really means and how it refers to it.
No.
Now, that means is if you're a Muslim, for example,
Yep.
you can't say that I don't believe in Allah, I don't believe in the last, as you would call him, Prophet Muhammad, and consider yourself a Muslim, yeah?
Right.
Because that's the foundation of Islam,
Yep.
is the first, that there's one God, La ilaha La alayla. Yeah?
Yep.
Next. You can't be a Christian, because of a Christian, and not believe in Jesus Christ as your savior, or as God, or as son of God, or any of those. Basically, religion means is that you follow a higher power, a spirit. It could be a book, it could be a way of thinking, and that's what it means.
Yep.
Now, you can have Muslims who are British, Muslims who are from Africa or African, you can have from Moroccan, and you can have a Moroccan who is a Christian and a Moroccan who is a Muslim, and the religion is their belief, and who they are could be any other ethnic minority in the world and from any race anywhere over. But what it means to be Jewish really is to understand one thing is, the Jewish people themselves never adopted the name Jew. We would consider ourselves our name as Bnei Israel.
I know.
It adopted as Israelites, but it adopted, when did it adopt that we got the name Jewish? Is if you go back in history, there are two Jewish kingdoms in the state of Israel today. You had the kingdom of Israel and the kingdom of Judah. Now, the kingdom of Israel were obliterated by the Assyrians, and those are the 10 tribes that we consider today the 10 lost tribes, and that Rudy Rahman went to try to visit when he got now arrested in Nigeria. And then you had the kingdom of Judah, that lasted for another few hundred years after the kingdom of Israel. Now, when the Jews or the Israelites from Judah left or were expelled from Judah, they were sent into Persia, today Iran. And the name they came, the people asked, who are these funny people who come here? What are they from? They are from Judah. They are from Yehuda. That means that Judah is a geographical location, and these people come from that geographical location. Something interesting about these people were that they had a tribe, they were tribal, they had a culture, they had a language called Hebrew, and one of the things as well that they had was a religion, because there were tribes long before God revealed himself on Mount Sinai. So they were the Hebrews, they were the Israelites. Now, that means that you could be born Jewish, and a Jew like me and him and any other Jew, without believing in God, without believing in the Torah, he won't be a religious Jew, he won't be a practicing Jew, but he'll have his same yearning back to his ancestral homeland where his name Judah comes from, that geographical location.
If he is from that tribe.
That means let's first talk about that, and then we can take the next stage if we're going to go into Europe and all that. But let's first take the Jew born anywhere in the world that is an ancestral, that his ancestors were in Judah, and that's the name they have today. Judah is because it's the geographical location. These people went through 2,000 years exile. In this 2,000 years exile, they packed with them a suitcase. In the suitcase, they packed the culture, the language, and between it as well their religion, and the yearning home back to their ancestral homeland. Now, throughout the 2,000 years of exile, many people packed their suitcase differently. Many people said it's too heavy to pull around the suitcase for 2,000 years with a religion, so they said religion out the window. Sadly, it pains me a lot, but that's the fact. You do dawah, we do kiruv. We do kiruv. Kiruv means we try to bring Jewish people back to its religion, back to its source. Other people who's gone, they said, no, religion is going to be first, and then you're going to have the language, the Hebrew, and after that we're going to have the homeland and all of that. It's all packed. That means there's no difference to Jew, wherever he is. This is his suitcase that he comes from. And that means it's not a religion. This people have a religion. The Jewish people have a religion that some of them adopt and some of them don't. These people have a language that some of them have adopted, some of them haven't. These people have a culture, some of them have adopted, some of them don't. These people have a history going back 4,000 years. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Samuel, Joshua, David, King Solomon, going through before the kings, the hundreds of years of judges, the hundreds of years of kings, under many different rules, prosecuted over thousands of years, sadly mostly by Christians, and sadly as well in many parts by our Muslim brothers as well, that we had our greatest times. The golden era of Judaism, where it expanded, was now. These people have all packed their suitcases, and when you say what the word Jew means, a Jew is one all-encompassing word that takes this all into consideration. It takes in, yes, he has a religion, he might not keep it, but he's Jewish as me. Yes, he has a homeland.
What makes him Jewish?
What makes them Jewish is that they are children from this geographical location, from this tribal. Now, so first of all, let's take stage one. Stage one is, this is what the word Jewish, this is that the Jewish means. Now, who is a Jew? Now, there's a few ways to to determine it. There's one way to determine it, is how the Jews themselves consider it. How does a Jew use this terminology? When I meet another Jew, or when another Jew meets me, how does he accept the Jewish people? If it's his tribe, how does he accept the person to belong to his tribe? If he says everyone with one sock, orange, one green, is considered Jewish, then that's their tribal understanding of it, then he is Jewish according to the Jewish people, and that's what counts. Now, if these people say that being Jewish means that your mother is Jewish, then that's what it counts, because this is what this tribe...
Do you believe that?
This is what I believe.
Do you believe your mother has to be Jewish?
I personally believe, yes, my mother has to be Jewish, or you can convert to Judaism. I wouldn't advise it. You can convert to Judaism.
So if you convert to...
And that itself can't make it a ethnic, also not ethnic minority, because you can convert into this family.
Right.
But it's very interesting that it isn't a religion like any other religion. It isn't an ethnic minority like any other ethnic minority, because it's an ethnic minority that you have an entry into it. And that's what the word Jewish means. Now, one, we said what the word Jewish means. Two, who is a Jew? To me, who is a Jew? Every person whose mother is Jewish or has converted to Judaism.
Right.
That is what I consider Jewish.
Right.
Now, people will say is, well, you got the Ashkenazi Jews, the Sephardi Jews, and you got that. The simple fact is, we are all Jews. That means the Ashkenazi Jew will say the Sephardi Jew is Jew, the Mizrahi Jew is a Jew. The Mizrahi Jew will say the Ashkenazi, the Sephardi, and Mizrahi Jews, and everyone will agree that everyone is a Jew. No one will make a takfir. He's not Jewish because he's a Sephardi. He's a takfir because he's Ashkenazi. Takfir is not a Jew because he's a Mizrahi. Because what it means a Jew is, if your mother's a Jew and we all accept it, and your father's Jew. Now, when we were sent into Rome, when we were in exile into Rome, by the Roman Empire, when we were shipped onto boats, onto gallows boats, into where we split between Ashkenazi and Sephardi, where it started this historic split between. Yes, we converted people within the local population to convert it into Judaism, and once they convert into Judaism, they are Jewish like any other Jew, like it's written in Leviticus. What the Jew means, they're considered a Jew to the letter of the law, and not just that. That means is in every way he's a Jew. That means there's a word in the Torah that's used for a person who enters Judaism called a gay, and there's another word that's used. That means is, as long as you had your kingdom, you had the people who lived within the kingdom who weren't Jewish, also called gay. The gay, the foreigner who lives within you as well. Now, the rules for the foreigner who lives within you is you have to treat him without the jizya, without a tax, without anything, like your own. There's no difference. If you're a foreigner in the kingdom of Israel, in the kingdom of Solomon, or in the kingdom of David, or any of the other 50 or 60 kings you had, every single one of them, if you live within the kingdom of Israel, then you're treated like a Jew, with the same laws and rules, bind them. But furthermore, that means is once you convert into Judaism, it's not the same laws apply. You are the same Jew, like a brother who is born from a mother. And that's what the word Jew means.
What's your point?
Thank you.
What's your point?
It's not just a religion, that's my main point.
Okay.
It's not just a religion.
I didn't say it was just a religion.
He asked him why he used the word religion when it came to...
No, but the way he differentiated between the Palestinians.
But listen, Palestinians, you do have Jewish Palestinians, you have Christian Palestinians, and you have Muslim Palestinians.
Okay.
Thank you, brother.
I could have read that on Wikipedia probably, but thank you.
I saved your time. I hope so anyway.
Yeah.
Maybe it would have taken...
I've got no issue with that. I mean, I'm pretty sure the Hebrew Israelites would have a problem with that and their claims, but I'm not Hebrew Israelite, so...
I'm all right.
Really...
With them, I'll debate them separately. I'm all right with them. It's a very easy debate to have with them.
Oh, is it? What's the best argument then against the Hebrew Israelites?
The best argument of the Hebrew Israelites, it's very simple. And it goes back to history. That means you had two kingdoms. You had the kingdom of the 10 tribes, the kingdom of the 2 tribes. The kingdom of the true tribes lasted longer than the 10 tribes. And for these 2 tribes that lasted longer, we have something called the Messiah. That means is that we have a connection that bounded us together for many years. That means is the Jews in Yemen, who we had no connection with over the 2,000 years in exile, follow the same books and the same way we practice today in Europe. The Jews who lived in the Arabian Peninsula follow the same as the Jews in Spain and in Europe. And with them we had a connection that lasted longer, so we know who they are. The 10 tribes who the Syrians attacked the kingdom of Israel were sent into exile in a far more vicious way, that they had to keep their identity in a very tight,
just so I understand, you're saying you accept the Hebrew Israelites.
I accept if they have their history said that they are the part of the
Hebrew,
then I have no way of knowing, because we lost contact with them many years before.
And what is their argument against you?
The argument against us,
Yeah.
that they think that they're the only ones. That means there's that little.
Yeah. So what is their argument against you?
The argument against views?
Yeah.
The main argument is what they want is that we should recognize them, and I do.
No. That's not what they say.
Think that we are
They said-
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
I'm not going into that debate.
No,
But
I want to
if you want to
understand
know that, you could watch it with Ali Dawa. I had a conversation with him about this topic with Ali Dawa on YouTube.
Thank you for the information.
Pleasure. Nice meeting you, Hamza.
Take care. That was information, wasn't it? You did what you did.